Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series, and in the previous videos we learned about the database fundamental, what MongoDB is, how to connect Node.js with the MongoDB using the Mongoose. Now our database is connected, right? But there is a problem. MongoDB allows us to store any kind of data, right? This sounds flexible, but in real application, this can create messy data. For example, one user document may contain name, email, and age. Another document might contain the username, phone, and address. Another document might contain something completely different. So the database becomes inconsistent and difficult to manage. That is why today we will learn something very important, that is the schema and the models in the Mongoose. In this video, we will learn what is schema, why schema is important, what is a model, and schema validation rules, how to create schema, how to create model, and how to save data using the models. And don't worry if this sound new for you. I will explain everything in a very simple way. Now, what is a schema? Schema is basically a structure of data, like it defines what field will exist in the database, what type of data they store, what rules should apply. Think of schema like blueprint of a house. Before building a house, we create a blueprint that defines where the room will be, where the kitchen will be, where the bathroom will be, and similarly a schema defines the structure of documents in the MongoDB. Example, we are storing user in our database. Our schema might say that every user should have name, email, age, password. And so now every document will follow the same structure, right? Like in a SQL, we have a table format, and in tables we have columns name, email, age, password. Same like apply in this scenario also. Now, why we use schema? MongoDB is called a schema-less database. Means you do not need to any kind of need a schema or a database. So MongoDB itself does not enforce structure, but in real application we want clean data, consistent data, validation, predictable structure. For example, imagine if someone accidentally save age is 25 in the English letter in the alphabets in the words. So someone save a user without email, that can break our application, right? So Mongoose schema help us to control and validate the data, and benefits of schemas like better structure, validation rules, and the clean data, consistent database, easier development. Now, what is a model? A model is created from a schema. The model is what we actually use to interact with the MongoDB. With a model, we can create data, read data, update, and delete it. So remember this simple idea: schema defines the structure, means what type of data type is string, number, or any array format or any other. And model define the model perform the database operation. Like in SQL, we have queries, select star from these are like, and in models we have a perform database operation. Schema is a blueprint and model is a tool that builds the house. Now, how schema and model works? First, we create the schema. First, we define that structure of the complete uh, database, and then create the model from the schema. And step 3, use the model to interact with the database. So the flow become a schema to the model to the database. Now let's move to the VS Code and make a schema. So I already built this backend project, this and also configure this db.js file, means connection with the MongoDB, and this is our index.js file. Now this structure, let's create a folder inside this root folder that says models, and inside this let's create one thing, first file the user.js. Now inside the user.js just write let's say first we have to import the mongoose equal to require mongoose, and after that make a schema, let's say user schema equal to new mongoose dot schema, and inside this name is a string data type, and age is a number, and the last one is, let's say, email is a string data type. Right, now first we import the mongoose in this file, and then we create a new schema using the new mongoose dot schema. And here inside the schema we define the fields like name, age, and email with their data type string, number, string. This means every user document will have these fields. Now let's create a model from this. uh, Below the schema, just in this file, just write here const user is equal to mongoose dot model, and here we have to give the model name user, and from this schema. Now here also we have to export this. Just use the module dot exports, and what I have to do, just the user, just save it file. Now here if you see, we are creating a model called the user, and the first parameter is the model name, that is the user, and the second parameter is the schema we created, user schema. So Mongoose will automatically create a collection called the user in the MongoDB. Then we export the model so we can use it in the other files. Now open your index.js file, and just use it here. First we have to import the DB connection that's come from the config file, and just write here const user equal to require the path of the file, DC models, and inside the model we have user. Now we can use this model to store data. So first make a new user by just write const user equal to new user, and here we have to write the name is the John, and age is the, let's say, 25, and email is the john@gmail.com. Just a normal user I create here. What happened? Okay, and in last we have to write here the user dot save. So what is happening here? First we create a new user object using the model, using that model, this type of model, and after that we pass the data by name, age, and email, and then we call user dot save, and this saves the document into the MongoDB. So now our data is stored in the database following the schema structure. Let's see, let me rerun this code. Now open your MongoDB Compass and refresh it. See my database, and here I get the user correction, and here I get the John 25, john@gmail.com, and this why it's come to, maybe I just run it 2 times, that's why it's come, just nothing special in this. So means our main focus is we can get the data from here. Like if I create another one is like const user1 is equal to new user, and now this time I write let's say JD, and here just write age is, let's say, 30, and email is the jd@gmail.com, and now let's refresh it. Okay, first I have to rerun this code. Now refresh it, and refresh it also. Where is the John? Okay, I forgot to write here the user1.save, that's why I get user1 dot save. Now first delete this one, drop the collection, just let users, and again run this. Yes, MongoDB connected. Now refresh it. I get the user collection with the values JD, type, JD, age, email, and name, age, email with the John value. So means we get the data here. Now let's apply schema validation rule. We can add the validation rules inside this user.js model. For example, require the field or minimum value, maximum value, unique fields. So just modify the schema like instead of direct writing, just write here type is the string and require is the true. Means type here is the data type is the string and require is the true. And also in this age, type here is the number and minimum age is the, let's say, 18. And you can also add the maximum age also. And let's write here the type is the string why it's giving the error. Okay, type is string and require is the, let's say, true. And here it's a unique, means every email ID must be unique, so just write here the unique is true. So here require is for true, means this means a user must provide a name. If I do not provide, it's given, it throw an error. And age has a minimum 18, means age cannot be less than 18. And last one is the email. Email has the unique true, so this ensures that user cannot register with the same email. These validation rules help keep our database clean and correct. And so let's see, we create a model, some schema validation rules. Also, this is a validation example and how to create a and saving data. This, so you will get this complete PPT inside this in the video description also. So let's quickly recap what we learned today. First, we learned what a schema is. Schema defines the structure of data. And then we learned what a model is. Model is created from the schema and used to interact with the MongoDB. Then we learn how to create a schema, create a model, and save data using this model, and add the validation rules also. And the overall flow looks like schema to model, model to database operation. And in the next video, we will learn how a CRUD operation on this: create, read, and update and delete using the Mongoose models. These operations are called the CRUD operations. So make sure you subscribe and continue this series. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to JDCodebase.